Well, memory man Dominic O'Brien, who was in Steve's film, is here, along with Donna Rose Addis from the University of Auckland and Tom Hartley from the University of York, where the conference is being held. Now, as we're talking, we have a challenge for Dominic to memorise these numbers. There's 100 of them in order by the end of the programme in about 5 minutes' time, and I think the numbers are going to appear now. Now, while Dominic is having fun, I just want to talk to you about some of the things that we think we know about memory. I mean, the first thing that strikes me is we all think that as we get older, our memories get worse. Is that true?
Well, it's actually an interesting idea that research is now revealing that there's actually different aspects of memory that get better as we age. And so one of those things is our wisdom or our general knowledge. So while we might experience things like forgetting names or forgetting certain details of situations,
or car
keys, forgetting things that have just happened to us, something known as episodic memory, we're actually getting better as we age in terms of remembering concepts and facts and general knowledge.
Is there also a difference between good and bad memories? I mean, I was reading that older people sometimes remember good things but forget some of the bad things, which might be a good defense mechanism.
Right, yeah, that's actually right. So we know that, despite the fact that there's a lot of negative things that happen as we age, so our health might be failing or our relatives might be passing away, older adults actually have a very good way of regulating their emotions in terms of focusing on positive information in their environment and remembering that.
Tom, is memory always useful? I mean, I was also thinking that there's some things we'd all prefer to forget, and maybe that is quite a good thing.
Well, it can sometimes be quite a serious problem for people who've survived traumatic or life-threatening events. These intrusive and vivid memories might come flooding back for many, many years afterwards, something we used to call shell shock, but now is known as post-traumatic stress disorder. And one of the things that's been coming up at our conference that we're running is that the remarkable flexibility of memory, and perhaps that we might have in the future new ways that might be able to change or reduce these kind of intrusive memories, because it's not always a good thing to remember.
Do we know, I mean, we're watching Dominic here memorise all these numbers, but do we actually know how memory works? I mean, one of the metaphors we all think is it's kind of like a filing cabinet. You go in there and pull things out. Is that right? Is that how we think it works?
Well, I think the first piece of understanding that we must make clear is that there's not just one type of memory. There are many different types of memory, and they all work in different ways and perhaps depend on different brain mechanisms that can go wrong in different ways. So, for example, Dominic now is probably trying to remember these numbers as being located in different places around his house or around a familiar route, as he mentioned before. That kind of technique might enable him to use his hippocampus, which is a part of the brain we use to find our way around, but it's also important for forming new long-lasting memories.
Donna, if we, this is clearly interesting, but if we did know much more about memory and how it works, would that help us in some way? I mean, would we be able to achieve more?
I think there's a number of misconceptions that we actually have about our common understanding of how memory works. And so, in understanding the ways in which memory can be enhanced, so new research that has been done in the States has shown that there's different ways in which we can study material to better learn that material and to have it endure for longer. And I think also understanding that memory goes beyond the past, and that's something that I've been really focused on. Beyond the past.
How do you mean?
So I've been researching how memory is actually used as the building blocks to imagine the future. And so even though memories play back like videos in your mind, they're actually stored in a very different way as fragments or details across the brain. But that actually means that memory can be kind of pulled apart and put together in different ways.
But in that sense then, what is the relationship between having good memory and being intelligent or being creative? Because they're all slightly different things, but we assume people who are intelligent have good memories.
Well, I think Donna's just raised a way in which memory can help you with your creativity by perhaps putting together ideas in a new imaginative way. More generally, I'm not certain that there's a close relationship between all different types of memory and intelligence. Some kinds of memory might allow you to continually store habits that are reinforced over and over again. You might not even be able to think about those things. They come automatically to mind. I'm thinking about something like riding a bike or something like that, playing the piano. That's a kind of memory too, and it's perhaps not the same kind of memory that we normally think of when we hear the word.
I'm also conscious of, in my own case and other people I know, of almost false memories. In other words, things that I think I remember because my parents told me, but actually I either wasn't there or I was too young to remember it. But they are quite important to us, aren't they?
That's right. There's a few ways in which I guess memory can fail or be distorted. And one of those is what you just mentioned, where we might forget the source of information. So we're not really sure in what context we encountered that. But another thing, how I mentioned before that memories are stored in these fragments, when we actually retrieve a memory, we have to bring together all those fragments again. And so it's possible that we might leave certain details out or even bring in details from other experiences.
I was just wondering what the big thing that we could hope for in some of this would be. I mean, people will also think about Alzheimer's and loss of memory and the terrible debilitation that causes. I mean, is it possible through studying how we remember things that it might help in Alzheimer's and similar conditions?
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, what Dominic's doing now seems like a bit of fun, but of course memory's a very serious business. If you start to lose your memory, you're losing your sense of self. So Alzheimer's is a terribly important problem to be solved, and it's one of the most pressing issues for scientists to work on today.
Okay, well, thank you both very much. And okay, Dominic, your time for memorizing stops now. Thank you very much, and we'll get back to you and test you in just a second, or 30 seconds after I've gone through the papers. The Eye has got Mirror journalist admitted hacking. Heather Mills claims reporter bragged to her about intercepting voicemail. The FT has got Europe sparks global sell-off. More bad news on the economy, the big long-running saga. The Times has welfare in chaos as thousands live to be 100. Aging population creates budget time bomb. Picture of Mubarak on the front page. Mubarak on the front page of The Independent as well. Osborne's watchdog sounds alarm on the economy. And finally, The Guardian, Shell admits liability for massive spill. So we're going to go back to Dominic now to see if he can give us those 100 numbers in the right order. You have until the credits run out. Good night.
Okay, it's 6331, 158296186233, 5559, 3113, 4643, 7258, 81141574. I think it's 1840, but it could be 7440, and then it's 1481 3675. 47132329. We're 2117 2242 6912 0672 8582 4885 8227 4377 7833 5813.